Dear Diablo players and fellow degenerates, Achilles here with another build, this time LON Wizard. This is a build I put together quite recently and I had no hopes for it, but it's performing pretty well, so let's get into it, shall we? The build is pretty similar to the Talrasha variation of it. It's just more flexible with the items you can use. As you can see, the Death Wish H Sigil is pretty much the same. You're still wearing Nilfor's Boast, but we got some extra fire damage in our build due to flexibility of LON. So I'm using Swampland, Cindercoat, and Mage Fist. So I got 60% extra fire damage altogether, around 100%. I think my neck this is 18, yeah. So this allows us to use some extra damage in our build. Cindercoat, alongside with maybe a piece or two of RCR, allows me to completely drop the belt, the binding, so I can wear Witching Hour. Still using the Mantle of Channeling, obviously. Same Ashnagar's Bracers and the LON Rings. With the headpiece, there are a couple of options available to us. One was this item, Andariel Visage, which is another 20% fire damage, but as you can see, we already have 100% damage, fire damage increase. Andariel brings another 9% due to the diminishing return. So I thought I'd use a Wizard's Hat, Crown of Primus to be exact, so I can drop the APOC, Arcane Power and Crit on my Ace Sigil and get Meteor damage. On top of that, you get all the runes for slow time, which is really good. One of them is slow, one of them is exhaustion, reduced damage taken from enemies, and one is damage increase, 15% more damage increase. The others are just survivability ones. The attack speed, which I explain a little bit later, is actually not that great. It's actually working against us. Point of no return, a slow time, just a stun. Just basically, beside toughness, it gives you a small boost of damage as well. 25% less damage taken is really good. With the skills, since we're free from using 4 different elements, due to not being restricted by Talrasha, you can use whatever you want. Beside the main ones, which is Meteor Shower, a Spender, Teleport to get into Achilles, Magic Weapon Deflection for toughness. I'm using Black Hole Spell Steal for even more damage. Passives, honestly, you only need 2, Illusionist, Audacity. The others, you can use whatever you want. I'm using Cheat Death on Wavering Well. These can be obviously switched around to, for example, Conflagrate, which is a 6% crit. That's going to be pretty much uptime because your Meteor Shower hitting everything. Elemental Exposure, after the change, this is actually a multiplier, 20% multiplier, but I like the toughness of my Wavering Well better. There are options, there are many options. You can use Power Hungry even, and drop Taker, you can use Zeiss. Blur, more damage reduction, but yeah, this is what I'm using. And our gems are Stricken. I'm actually not sure if we do need Stricken. Trapped and Taeguk. I don't think I'm gonna be doing high enough demonstration to see if that gem is needed or not, but I'll be using it anyway because for higher tiers this is the best for RGK, killing the RG enemy. Our cube is obviously Grand Vizir, Aquila, and COE Convention. For the stats, what I was using beside crit and crit hit damage was a ton of area damage, which I'm about to explain why. I'm using maximum area damage, 174%. Okay, let's switch this for more visibility, maybe comment. Okay, let me just quickly drop this. Okay. As you can see, I don't have attack speed here. I'm gonna explain to you why. Look at the speed that the comet is landing. Now we're gonna give us our bubble. Now look at the speed of it. I don't know if it's visible to you, but frame by frame, I checked it, and beside another person, it is visibly 25%. You can see when it drops, you can see visibly it's 25% more. Like, for some reason, there's a weird interaction between H-Sigil and attack speed, which shouldn't be. H-Sigil should be casting one of your spenders every second. But obviously that's not the case. Look at it, with attack speed, we're actually shooting less. So I found out after a lot of testing, I'm not gonna get into it too much. More than 10% attack speed actually causes you to lose damage. So what I'm doing, I'm dropping this attack speed because I am gonna get 10% from my bubble. That's the attack speed. And what do we do with the area damage? Obviously the H-Sigil does not proc area damage. H-Sigil is a proc of one of your abilities. As you can see on your bar, that was a black hole, and these are the meteor shower. And H-Sigil procs it based on the cooldown that it has. Black hole is 12 seconds. I have, I think, 10% paragon, so that would be around 11 seconds cooldown. So every 11 seconds that casts a black hole. As you can see, that's black hole, and it's not gonna cast it until the next 11 seconds. The black hole buff lasts 5 seconds, so all I need to do is to press it pretty much 5 seconds apart from each other. That just cast it, so I'm gonna have a black hole buff, and when that ends, I press 1 manually to get the buff continually going. What is the purpose of AD then, if we are having the H-Sigil? We're gonna be looking at our element. Right before fire, which is in our cold, we can press that. There's an argument of pressing it and tapping it, but remember, whenever you tap it, your H-Sigil damage completely drops alongside the Death Wish. I read a lot of articles about you can't tap it and weave it in between. That's not true. Your damage of these two items actually drop. The H-Sigil damage, the Mantle of Channeling damage drops, and weaving in is not a good thing. But definitely pressing it before fire is an amazing thing, because majority of your damage is going to be happening during fire. So for example, this is cold. I'm pressing it and I'm keep casting. I would press it during cold as I would press it once during fire as well, but that would require you to actually know basically the breakpoint cast of your Arcane Torrent, which is way too complicated for this video. Let's demonstrate the build, shall we? I don't know what level I can do, to be honest. I haven't tried it. Oh, we should do a level 60. We should do a level 60. Alright, let's do a 110, 12? 112. Let's double check our stuff. Did we put these back? Yes. Let's give it a shot. Obviously we don't need to get our damage reduction and damage increases stacks because there's no Tal Russia. We are actually doing surprisingly a lot of damage. Holy shit. I'm gonna teleport out of that. We are obviously a melee build. And we're getting fear 24/7. Fun times. So what do we want to do? We want to always be close to our target. I like holding down stand still for stand still and casting my meteor every now and then. I obviously don't want to cast it to the point that I drop my Aquila, which is pretty much my toughness. Oh, hello. There's a shield. If the area damage component is too complicated for you, you can simply just go for toughness. Armor, vitality. Like right here. I'll showcase the area damage to you. I actually don't like the shield at all. My illusion is passive, doesn't proc. Therefore, there you go. That was weaving area damage in that fire. Or weaving meteor in that fire. Remember, single target mobs like that is actually easier for you to kill due to the nature of Nilfgaard's Burst, which gives you an additional 900% on your meteor damage. It's not like Kyoshiro's Blade, it's not an additional 900% multiplier. It just adds another 900% to already 600. Kyoshiro Blade of the Monk is actually an additional 250%. I'm rambling, I am sorry. This build is actually decent. If you want to push with this build, I don't think the cheat death or unstable anomaly, I don't think it is required. I don't see this build, I don't see this character dying. The toughness is ridiculous. Obviously 52% LON damage reduction, 50% Aquila. And you have the slow time bubble, another 25%. You still can't sit in affixes, like Molten right there. But quite simply, you can ignore mob attacks. Slow time stun is good enough to help you survive the auto attacks. They're attacking a lot slower and they get stunned the moment they walk into the bubble or they leave the area. There's another variation, or basically a slightly different version of this build, which you drop Teguk, you grab Zeiss and Power Hungry, the passive. I personally like this melee build a lot better, not just because of its easier playstyle, it also makes more sense with you wanting to walk to the mobs, like hold them, put a bubble on top of yourself. It's just all in all goodness. I'm not a fan of Zeiss. might be biased there, but there is a different option if you want to pursue that. Oh. Oh wow, we took a lot of damage there. I have no life on hit. I tried to get it on my weapon. I couldn't, so life per hit would allow you to stay at full HP, not like me at 20% for half an hour. Oh, these range mobs hurting us. Good thing we are running out of that lich. Most ridiculous conduit known to mankind. Shielding Ghost. That was a power. Oh, I procced. Wow, okay, so you can die. Is there any chance we can spawn the boss? Kill it with this power? I don't think so. This is actually a good showcase. I'm happy I didn't keep the power for the boss, because I was curious to see if the stricken is needed at these levels. We're about to spawn. I'm still casting, trying to keep my Tegek stacks, which I failed miserably. Fallen lunatics, they're gonna kill you. You might want to step away from them. You don't need to be beside the boss, because you have slow time, so your trap is gonna be activated. And goodbye. That was about 30 seconds. The boss wasn't. Still, if you want to push, you do need the stricken. Here's the build. I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these videos, and leave a comment for me to change or improve anything in my channel. Thank you.